Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another tournament stream. Woo! Today is the first stream of the season. Let me just turn the music down just a tiny little bit. Basically, today we will be streaming the third day of the first qualifier for the EU server. There's a 3-minute delay on the stream. That is to avoid any stream sniping happening, and of course, for that reason, also I did not show you my garage yet until I actually accepted the invite to the room, because the timer there has to be below 3 minutes in order for me to show the lineups and everything, and that's just to avoid people seeing each other's lineups before we go into the battle. The second housekeeping announcement is the fact that there is a giveaway running. Basically, you have to guess the damage that the team on the left does. We don't know what team that is yet in the grand finals in the second game there, and you can win a September battle pass or one of 4 fan containers. So if you want to win one of those, you have to post your in-game name, your server, and your exact damage guess. So you can't type 2k, you have to post 2000, so to speak. Of course, that is horribly low for team damage, but you get the point. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm just waiting for the timer to go down. It's amazingly hot here, so I'm not really feeling all too well. But we will make the most of it and we will have some fun with the matches. So this is the group that we will be following tonight. I'm going to guess that we're connected to Aqua, but not 100% sure. But yeah, these 4 teams are of the group that we're following tonight, and there's not really any pressure just yet on the teams because it's all about cups. Basically, if you win this stage, it shows credits, but this is what you get, and it's the cups that is the important part because that will eventually determine who is going to be in the top 8, and that of course is the next stage of the whole tournament. There are 4 qualifiers in total, and basically the 8 teams with the most cups will go through the top 8, and of course you have the top 9 to 16 and 17 to 32, I think it was, and that basically decides on who wins what where. In the meantime, timer has dropped below 3 minutes so we can go into the room. I am currently the only one there, but they still have 2 minutes, so I'm hoping that they will arrive soon. We are starting it off on Naval Frontier. That looks something like this. It is one of the maps that I actually really like playing on. Especially here, I like going to this place and just basically seeing where the rest is, farming damage and everything. There is 3 bases. Usually we see some cheeky B action or B holding, because most of the bases are quite open, so there's a lot of shots into either base. What we also see there's around the base A area, no, sorry, base C area, there are 2 hills on either side, and light tanks will usually go up there to just spot to see who goes where. In the meantime, while we were watching the map trailer, everyone has arrived, and we have 2 full teams. I'm glad that the sound is working okay, because it's been a while since I streamed, and there's a lot of reasons for that, health being the primary one, of course. Also, tools not being there being another reason for it. But yeah, it's been a while, so I'm always happy to get a little bit of sound check to make sure that stuff is working as it should. Let me just go to... I always have like my server Discord open at the back to keep track of the winners, see if my moderators have any messages and everything. And then I have my game in front of that, and then on my other screen I've got my OBS with my YouTube chat beside it. So that's basically my whole setup there. 49 seconds left before we go into the first game of this best of 5. We have Osley completely ready now with an E6, 2 E50Ms, 3 AMX54s and a Super Conqueror. And on Aqua's side we see, an F3. I'm really curious to see how that will perform. A Chieftain in AMX54, an E50M, a 215B, an LT, and potentially another AMX54. I'm really curious about the F3. I've been, like, after it got the ultra reloader gun, I did play it a little bit and I absolutely sucked in it because I much prefer tanks with gun depression, and this just doesn't have it. So let's see, here we go. First game. Every single time I'm like, oh I did ready up, didn't I? Because that's nothing more nerve-wracking than failing to ready up in a tournament stream. Yes, you're only guessing for one match on this stream and only for the grand finals. Thought I'd do it a little bit differently this time. We have Eerie going to the middle, shooting stuff. In the meantime, E6 now also moving. They are spawning people. It's actually Daniel, or Denial, I should call him now, that spotted most people here. Just Player lost a little bit of HP. Denial. Ooh. Philharmonia and Women Moment. That's an interesting name. Are losing quite a bit of HP there. Metapio as well. Now they're holding. Denial is reloading his gun more. More shots happening. Osley is being very, very forward, but they are losing quite a bit of HP for that. So does Zerd. But Metapio is not looking all too healthy. They kinda do need to get out of there now, though. Because now the hills is basically stuck on the hills. And in danger versus many, many guns. The F is trying to get out of there. He's having a tough time with it. Barely survives with his life. Metapio's still alive. Women Moment is the first one to be gone, though. Jugelskog shooting Philharmoniac, exposing quite a bit, but Philharmoniac and the hills both go down at the same time. Zerd is not long for this world either. Jugelskog turning around. Zerd is going to get another shot in, but does die after that. Same as the F, making it a Osley gun advantage here. Jugelskog has to be careful. Metapio goes down. There goes Bablo. Jugelskog getting rammed. They're trying to kill Just Player. Jugelskog goes down first. Down. Denial is on the single shot reload, which is a bit of a tricky thing. Ghosty does need to come and help. There goes Denial, making it 2 versus 3. Eerie is very healthy and is going to arrive. Oh no, Just Player is pushing forwards. They are going after Ghosty. Eerie now moving in. The tech tube getting another shot in. Ghosty needs to make sure it hits. Now we have Ghosty gone. Eerie taking the kill. And the tech tube is obviously the preferred target here. They are taking base B. Eerie. We're going to go into the single person view here. He does get spotted for that, has to be careful. He needs to kill. He also needs to not get called out much. He does take a hit there. He does not land one though. He does have a 200 point advantage, which could work out really, really well if he can make it last. The thing is that he mainly just needs to find the tech tube. And the tech tube is now going around, heading towards base A, which is the logical thing to do, because that's where the advantage from Aqua is right now. Totak is at the back there. If he spots him though, if he gets the kill in, he's at the right side. Well done! So now it's just Totak versus Eerie. This is a clever thing to do. Like, most people don't realize this, but basically, whenever you drive through things, it betrays your position. So, basically, driving through stuff early is a clever thing to do. Now he knows where Totak is. Totak is capping base A. He needs to get a base, so ideally he's going to go for base C. And then maybe run around towards base A. He is taking this position so that he can see where Totak might be coming from. Totak is going to go down. Now he's hoping that he crosses over there. And he might be in the right there. But he pulls back! He pulls back! This is interesting stuff, though. Now he needs to decide what he's going to do. He's going to go for the cap. And he needs to decide which side Totak might show up at. And he did cap the base. And as long as they're both in the base, nothing can happen. He actually shot the wall there. Because they're just going to be playing Ring Around the Roses here. I wouldn't be shooting the wall. I kind of understand why he's doing it, but he just needs to stay here. And all is well, because Aqua has the point advantage here. They each have a base. So Aqua will reach that 1k points earlier, and there's not really anything Tota can do about it. He is turning around, but the proximity spotting here really helps. She still gets a shot in, cheeky bugger. Now there's just already 1k points. Aqua takes home the first game with only 30 seconds to spare. I don't think you have pinged in the past either. It was a beautiful game though, very cleverly played. Eerie taking it home. And Totak really just not really having any option there. He couldn't run away because then they would have just kept the base and won on points that way. And Eerie just made full use of the fact that it's a little light tank that can just run around in the middle like that. One minute, 12 seconds left to go before we go into the second game of this best of 5. Still on Naval Frontier. Still with, two F3s now. Day's taking one as well. I'm so used to seeing him as Daniel, so saying Denial all of a sudden is hard, you know? I do have a great replay to show in between the matches, by the way, from Denial. So now we have one AMX-54, two F3s, a Chieftain MK6, an E50M, a 215B and an LT versus a 215B, a Chieftain MK6, three AMX-54s, a Super Conqueror and an LT. So I'm really looking forward to this because like Aqua, and this is no insult meant to Osley. Like between these two, Aqua is obviously the one that you would expect to be the obvious win. But this last game was close. It was very, very close. And it came down to just playing Supremacy smartly and the fact that light tank with a ball and you can run around it, basically. So it's not that easy a matchup. And I wonder if, because of that, we're now going to see... I'm not going to say that the last game wasn't serious, but that we're going to see more serious gameplay, so to speak. Maybe more tactical. Let's see. Eerie heading towards the middle. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this. Eerie just driving it around a little bit. And we have Totak heading up there. Philharmonia and Women Moment. Women Moment has not even been spotted for that. Nah, no, not even. Just player is getting shot at even though he's not spotted yet either. But they probably are expecting the AMX 54s to wolf back. Jungle Skog moving backwards. Zerd is in danger. Is going to meet most of them. But he is an AMX 54. We have Daze and DF moving back. Big hits. He really can't go anywhere really. And that is the end of it. But Women Moment is close behind. Is he going to get the... Oh, no, he does not get the kill. And they have to be careful with the people at A on the other side. The hills has been spotted. Totak is turning around to help with that. Metapio. Well. Denial has now been fully loaded. Women Moment gets murdered by the F. Now they're dropping down. Going after the AMX 54s. No, I'm not sure. No, he just wants just player. Big hits into him. Just player. Seems to be giving up. Or had a big moment and just drove. The heals is not going to survive for much longer. Does get taken out, leaving both teams with 2 tanks down. And about a 1k HP advantage to Osley. With Totak now moving to cap that base. Whereas Denial on the other side is heading towards base A. And they are farming just a little bit, but they have to be careful with it. DF. Oh, dies. He does eat a shot for that, though. But he is going to reload faster. Eerie going again for the B cap. Jungle Skog taking hit blind. Oh, shooting into Bablo, but not actually panning. The duck tube now basically being held captive there. Big hits into Philharmonia. Daze digging it out with the duck tube. Philharmonia goes down. The duck tube almost gone as well. Eerie arriving, taking another shot. And slowly but surely, Aqua is taking the map here, bit by bit. DF not looking too healthy. Totak going to murder DF. Metipio goes down first though. Jungle Skog is not looking too healthy. But with 4 guns versus 2 of which are fully loaded. Auto reloaders now. Jungle Skog goes down. Totak gets murdered. And now it is just Bablo who is the last one left alive. And there he goes. Just as they hit 1k points as well. Again. The thing is that in a situation where it was that E50M versus the LT, had the LT been a random player, I would have given it to the E50M and the other way around as well. But when they met up in the middle like that, yeah, basically there was no other outcome because of the proximity spotting and the little wall that they could run around and everything. So that is the second game of this first match, I should say, up and over. In the meantime, I'm hoping that the weather is nicer where you are. It turned 35 degrees Celsius here and I'm not having it. I don't get along with warm weather like that. In the meantime, we are moving to Hallis, one of my less favorite tournament maps. It does look amazing, it is quite fun to play on, but when it comes to tours, there's a lot of fire lines everywhere. It's quite an open map. And it can be quite fun to watch as well. But either you get a pylon in the ditches there, or you have a lot of action over there in the other side of the map. That basically it hops on between places on the map a lot. But a lot of time you will have campers here, both in the regular games as in tours. And you can't really blame anyone for them because that's what happens when you have an open map with lots of fire lines. So we have Aqua now ready with 3 AMX-54s, a 215B, an E50M, a Super Conqueror, and an LT. Versus Osley in 2 E50Ms, Chieftain MK6, 3 AMX-54s, and a Super Conqueror. And Denial switched to a Super Conqueror. And in the end. Let's see. Again, every single time. Also, we have Aqua now up for match point. If they win this game, then they are through to the upper bracket. That does not mean Osley is out yet, because you still have the lower bracket to go through. Let's see. Here we go. We have the hills moving forwards. I do love that camo, it looks so good. He's not meeting anyone there, but he doesn't know that yet. We have a lot of people spotted there, though. And we see some crossfire lines happen. Jungle Skulk has to be a little bit careful, as does Denial. Eerie is deciding he does not really want to be there. A is getting capped. Eerie is going to get shot. No, he manages to escape. It seems that every basically just player and women moment are having moments. Because they keep being very, very forwards, but they're also losing a lot of hit points for that. And it's kind of like hyper-aggression, which is not really working out for Osley. Ghosty. Oof, setting just play on fire there a little bit. He's losing quite a bit of HP as well. He has to be careful not to get farmed by Bablo. Zerd and Eerie are keeping the tech tube and Metapio at bay. And now we have Ghosty slowly but surely being farmed. He does go down there. But he is the first one from Aqua to go down. And we have just player who is just dead now. In the meantime, though, Philomania in the middle goes down. Zerd goes down as well. Bablo not looking too healthy. That being said, though, Osley has a lot of HP. Has lost a lot of guns. That's the word I was... Seriously, I'm not having the best day. Eerie going after Metapiel now. Aqua having a massive gun advantage here. And about double the HP. Eerie is just going after Metapiel. Can actually take the hit. But he's just letting his team do some damage on the other side before now. And there he goes. The tech tube goes down. We look at the gorgeous camo that the hill sport. And Aqua wins the game. This was a much more decisive game than the other games that we've seen. And I think that partially that happens with Women Moment and Just Player. They're always pushing aggressively pretty much through the middle. And that's just not working, especially not once Aqua's like, yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing every game. So let's see, that's the first matchup up and over. Let's see when our next one is. Ooh, Serenity and Nexus are doing well. Rain and BPS are still duking it out. Group 4 is still duking it out, and Aqua will have their game in half an hour. So we're going to watch some replays. And Osley is through to lower bracket, and We don't know yet who they will meet. We're not going to be seeing them. Yeah, it's very quiet on YouTube right now. Honestly, I don't mind, to be honest. It's also just the qualifiers, so the matches aren't that intense. It's also just the first qualifier as well. Let's have a look. Let's start with the game from the Nile, shall we? Let's see. Oh god, I have 2 Wall Blitzes. I need to decide which one. It's the one with the capital. Okay. There we go. Boop. Ooh, we have the FS here as well in the game. I always try to not watch the replays before I show it on the stream, to both have my reaction be genuine, but also just to enjoy the gameplay with you. Yeah, sometimes I do the ping, sometimes I don't. Like with the qualifiers, I usually don't. But once you get to the round robins, the level of the gameplay is just hyped up by factor 10. And to be fair, that's also my favorite part of the tournament always. I do like this camo though, the Needhog. Needhog, I think I should say. I'm actually going to Sweden at the end of October. I'm really looking forward to that. I have 2 sisters that live there, and one of which I've not seen physically for years. Like 3 years or something now. It's ridiculous. So I thought it was high time to go visit again. So I'm really glad that I get to. We do FaceTime a lot, mind you. It's just different. Like actually physically sitting at the table and just having a chat and everything is so much better. Yes, track him. Nice. Kranwagen is one of those tanks that I know it's a very good tank. I don't play it nearly enough. Like, I love all auto reloads, so I really should try. But overall, I'm not doing too good in the game these days. I have my moments, so I have some lovely aces myself to show off as well. Also, this is with the single shotgun. Nice. Oof, that's the end of him. And now we have a poor tier 9. It is 4v4. One of them is going to die versus 3. 1 second left. Yeah, probably needs to take him out on the next reel, unless of course the concept on B does it again. Concept on B has been taking all the kills. And he does again. But yeah, we'll see. Next tournament streams, I might just ping. I think it's also like, in this case, with feeling how I do, I know that the level of this stream is not going to be quite as it should, so I feel bad about that. So in that way, I kind of... Let's say, I'm not saying I want to keep watchers away, but I don't want this to be the first impression of people that start watching, if you know what I mean. Not sure if I'm making any sense. He just got spotted. Someone's there. There's their Kran. Where's the other med though? Oof. The F went down. Oh, there's the other med. Yes, that was needed. Q. Oh, that was very needed. And now they can push the Kran together. In this case, the object is by far the most dangerous target. So that's the one. He waited until he got 2 shots so that he could murder him. And I wouldn't be surprised if now he's just going to wait until he's got all his shots back. And I think that's what the other Kran is doing as well. Now we kind of have a ring around the roses again, though. He's got his speed boost, but he's going to wait until he's got his third shot left, I think. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Oh, that's dangerous. Look at the reload though. Oh my god. He can take a hit. There we go. That ending though, that was a bit of a what you call it? Not a cliffhanger, but that was way too exciting. That is lovely. It's also I like showing off replays from people that I like because Danielle's a friend, but also just these are the plays that you're seeing in the games that we're streaming, and it's kind of like you see, it's not just that they're OP in the tools; they're also OP like everywhere, and I like showing that off. And it doesn't mean that they never have bad games. Everyone has bad games. Everyone has bad days. But these kind of games happen a lot more to them and a lot more easily than to the most of us, let's say. Now, another one I've been eager to watch is this one. Just gonna fill the time with replays because I can't play PC to save my life, so I'm not gonna try that either, especially not now. I really like the Lion. Basically, I am an auto reloader kind of girl, and especially when it comes to auto reload and meds, I love them all. And if I have to pick the lion or the carrot, I will always pick the carrot if I have to choose between lion and spaghetti. I will probably pick the lion these days, that is. But if I have to pick between the lion or the spaghetti 46, I will still pick the spaghetti 46. The thing is that in tier 10, I do feel that the lion can perform a little bit better than the spaghetti. Cheeky, I like it. Oh, there's another lion there. The thing I also like about the lion is the fact that the second shell is actually the DPM shell. So basically the second shell is that you can just keep firing and firing and firing. Again and again. That 121B is going to get absolutely murdered. Yes, track him. He survived for longer than I thought he would, to be honest. Caro dead. But yeah, I do like both lion and carrot. I just like the carrot more, because carrot is carrot, honestly, it's awesome. It's just a combination of multiple shells, as well as the beauty of the auto reloader. I don't mind reserve shells, but it's also got that little bit of turret armor that I just love. Hate it when that happens. Ah, you shot your reserve shell, cheeky bugger. Some nice assisted damage though. But yeah, when it comes to auto reloaders, I don't know, we just get along. It's the same as two-shot heavies. Like the... Hello there. Like the... Nice bounce. The Optic 752 and the Yo and stuff like that. Nice. He's just farming at this point, really. And now he's just fired, which makes it all the better, because more HP to be had. Oof. I think in this case he's doing that because he knows that it will take a while to get to the E4. I'm always very hesitant to use my reserve shot. I usually only use it to steal the last kill or to save myself. Or if I think I'm gonna die anyway, then I feel like I might as well shoot. But yeah, line is definitely underrated. Yeah, I agree. He can do so well. Nice. Nice. Oh, these are a good way to use the reserve shot every now and again, though. But you always have to be mindful of the fact that you do have a reserve shot, and you should avoid shooting it if you can. He made it look so easy here. Beautiful. Let's see. 1981 basic speed. That is ridiculous. Well done. Now let's see. I'm going to show off one of my own. Like, I've been trying to get some tanks to rank 50 just because I can. There's no actual reason for it. And the thing is that, like, I had it to rank 49 because I thought I could get it to 50, and then I found out I needed one more ace. So I've been playing it on and off a little bit just to try and farm that ace somehow. And this match was that somehow. So after this, it's finally up to rank 50. And like, there's absolutely no reason to rank up your tanks. It gives you some nice camos at some levels, yes. But overall, you really do not need to. I just do it for shits and giggles, really. Because I don't really have anything to grind. I don't want to grind anything, mind you. I free XP all the lines that come around. But it's just nice to give me something to do, and on my favorite tanks, I do kind of just wanted to get that. I really felt that the Kranwagen would be pushing, and then he didn't. And the hen house is there, and then he doesn't either. So I'm just, one way I'm really nervous, and then at the same time, they're just there. Hey Pete. Also, just to repeat, there is a giveaway on this stream. You have to guess the damage that the team on the left does in the grand finals. You have to post your in-game name, your server, and your exact damage guess. At this stage, I just want to get some more shots in. And then, of course, he drives somewhere where I can't shoot him, and then I shoot the rock because I'm big pro. But I've already basically told you how this match will end, so yeah. I wasn't sure if he was reloading his clip because I haven't really been paying it much attention. I also love the whole balancing skill that they've given this tank with the radical thing blooming or not. Yeah, I can't. I just figured I'd go for it and see what happens. Hey, forward. Hey, Andy. But yeah, I was happy with this game. I also got really lucky with this game. You'll see. Because I did potato things as well. This also was fun. Like, the Kran was really coming for me, and I wasn't doing the best at angling. just... He just keep getting tracked, and then he bounces on me, and I felt kind of bad for him at this stage. Because now he did not really get to do a lot of damage to me. So now we have two over there, and we have the T-22 medium over there. And I thought that this would be a great place to go. To see if I can get some shots into the Mino. Because at this stage I am realizing that I've got quite a few shots in here as well. So I'm kind of hoping that I can farm a bit more. And of course that will go well until I find out that the T22 can actually farm me from that side. So I decide to premo the Mino in the face. I have to be careful. The spaghetti gets taken out by the crown, which is really what I needed here. Thing is that when you move aggressively but at an angle and you turn as you drive, you are more likely to bounce, and I got so lucky there. But I think he also shot his reserve shell there. So now we're at 6k. I didn't camp a base though, so I wasn't sure if this was going to be enough for the ace. But I did get the top gun, so I was really hoping that this would be the one that I needed. Look at that! That was the ace I needed to get to rank 50. I was happy with that. Let's see. Also, I can't get over this. This is just perfection. Always. Of all the things I've achieved, I think I can even say in life, because this is big. I still can't believe I got my bugs in the game. Yeah, we have 15 minutes left to go. Let's have a quick look at the chart. Right through to, oh no, to the lower bracket BPS. So yeah, okay. I was like, who did Rake lose to? But that was BPS. And we have Afira versus Akva next. That's not going to be confusing to pronounce at all. Let's see. I'm going to show you. I'm going to save one for later, but I'm going to show you this one. I have a few very, very nice replays that I need to show. At least I know the results, and those are epic. Lorenzo just did back-to-back LT aces, so I am curious about that one as well. I have both. No, you don't want to go town in Middelburg. To be fair, if I'm driving a heavy, and in my case, I always play Supremacy, so I will actually go town. But I probably wouldn't in an encounter. It does get spotted for that. And they are coming to the hills. SCB is all on his own. Cheeky shot there. Whee! That was the end of the STB. He has to be careful. There's a grill somewhere. Oh, there's an AFKO. That is helpful. Oh, he woke up. And then he bounced. That hurt. He is a bit potatoing. And that's the end of the O. To be fair, it was poor positioning on my end as well. Because I was potatoing so much against the Minotauro there. Nice. Oh, he didn't even get spotted for that. That is cheeky. He just has to be careful to not get spotted. And then he can farm to his heart's desire. Nice. And every shot that he fires keeps them spotted for a lot longer. But he is realizing that he needs to not stay there. Has to be careful to drive through debris there, though. Now he's relatively safe. And they still haven't spotted him. This is using your view range. He needs to find that bad shot. He needs to find all of them, to be fair, but especially the bad shot, I think. Is he still going to be there? This is where I would be in sniper mode. Just so that I could shoot the moment that I spot. There's the chieftain. Nice. Oh, I can't believe that went in. That is ridiculous. Nice. Budget is all the way on the other side as well. Let's see. See, in a way, this is a lot easier to commentate on because I don't have to move the camera. At the same time, I keep wanting to check everything. Any specific... Oh, hello. Yeah. That was epic. That was absolutely epic. Surviving on 1 HP, hightailing it out there, tracking to avoid getting hit. It's just perfection. Beautiful. But yeah, as for aces, I want you to get for me. I'm honestly not sure. We'll have to check. Just look at that. 2.7 assisted damage. Let's see. I do have to admit that I need the tiger one again because I forgot to record it because it wasn't in a public channel and my mind is just all over the place lately. So yeah, the tiger ones would be epic and I'm really, really sorry. Because the thing is that, like, I went to Tankfest and I have a great idea for a video and just like storytelling and everything. But at the same time, I don't have the energy for it. I can't focus. But yeah, now we just have to wait until the room invite comes around. Let's see. That shouldn't be long from now. I think 3 minutes-ish. We can complain about the rest of the game though in the meantime. So this is a team that, oh, those are very well-known names. There was not a tank that I knew, but I know most of the people in there. So that's going to be exciting to watch. And after that, I believe the matches follow each other like rapidly. So whoever loses this is up against whoever wins from the lower bracket, and then after that we get the grand finals. But yeah, I was saying that we can complain about stuff. Let's complain about the auction. Let's start with how bugged it is. Like, we have all the double things here. There have been times where you saw an entirely different tank. Rather than what was on the name, or you had a different name for what you saw beneath it. It was special. But also just generally all these prizes are just way too expensive. Rangefinder. I don't... Oh, that could be a... HUD. I don't know why it wasn't activated, to be honest. Oh well, it's there now. But yeah, there's just the tanks in the auction are just way, way too expensive. And not so much because like the tank for 7.5k, the G-Saw for instance, wouldn't be too bad, but you get it without equipment and you get it without a camo. There we go. And that's just, I don't like it. It feels, well, dirty isn't too big a word, but it feels a little bit dishonest, just purely based on the fact that when you buy a tank in the store, it's generally very well set whether or not it comes like this. It comes with a garage shot. It doesn't actually say that it comes with equipment, does it? Now, this is also just like no equipment. And the thing is that it's just back in the day, like the good old days, when you got like, when you bought a tank, these don't come with equipment either. Oh god, that's so bad though. Unless I'm missing something. But they've been doing that a lot lately, where they're just not selling tanks with equipment. And then you have to grind credits, of course, and you have to spend those credits to equip it, or you will just drive your tank nerfed and not equipped, which is not a good thing. I don't get Wargaming doing that, honestly. Hey, Cora. Big shout out to Cora. Hopefully, I'm still waiting for that. But yeah, I'm hoping to see Cora commentate on tours soon as well. So if you like tours, definitely give him a sub because honestly, I've been watching some of his tours and the level is just next level. The explanations, the clarity, but also the chill. And I really like the chill because I'm not one for the super hyped, super fast speaking, blah, blah, blah. I can't listen to that. But Cora explains what is happening, how it's happening, why it's happening, talks about tactics and everything. Like, of course, he's one of the most OP players out there as well. So he's done the whole tour thing and everything. So yeah, definitely drop him a sub. Definitely watch his streams when he starts streaming tours because you're gonna love it. So here we are below 3 minutes, so we can actually go into the room. We are going to Fort Despair, which looks something like this. There we go. One of those maps that I don't love it, I don't hate it. It's just I will play it, of course, when I get there. But usually I like hanging out in that corner. But it also depends on what I'm driving. If I'm in medium, I like to go to the medium corner. Also depends on the tier and how many tanks of the same type that I'm going to meet, of course. But in tours, we usually see like not so much hesitant gameplay, but more like people waiting each other out a little bit, slowly but surely whittling each other down, that sort of stuff. So that's going to be interesting to watch. No, the Tiger 2 with the realistic camo thing. Or the, what's it called? The legendary one. Can you tell that my brain is just derping all over the place? I need the... We're going to go to German heavy tanks tier 6. Tiger 131, that's one. And the other one is the Tiger, I can't click it now, but the Tiger 2, but with the I think it's the Savage camo called. Yeah, but it's still not equipped, and you still don't have the camo. Well, Titan Charioteer might be camo stuck, really. I don't know. Yeah. Anyhow, focusing on the case at hand. We have another best of 5. We have Afira versus Aqua. We have Afira still running up a little bit, but Aqua is ready with a Kranwagen, an F3, 215B, 2 AMX-54s, an FT and a 215B, and Afira has now readied up with 3 AMX-54s, 2 F3s and 2 215Bs. So that should be fun to watch as well. No mediums at all, is it? No fast tanks. Just heavies and big guns. Interesting to see the F3 make such an appearance, though. I'm not really a fan of that. Like, any tank being used by any team, I will not blame the team for it. But I will blame Wargaming for balancing things in a way that means that premium tanks that you have to pay for are the meta tanks. Oh, this is one of my favorite camos that Sol is sporting here. Absolutely love it. I need more of it. Zalheim towards the middle. Most of Aqua and most of Afira are focusing on the seaside. I'm flying high. Jungle and Last spotting each other. Last taking the first hit here. Ghosty is not on his own. The heels taking some damage there. Is not really in the ideal position. He's not going to be able to use that bush as he would like. He's getting shot at more. Does not get a hit in, but does lose more HP for it. Ghosty also spotted. Base C has been reset a little bit. Jungle not getting the shot in. Now they are putting back. We have Mappa all the way in the corner over there. Calling out targets. Jungle and Last farming each other a little bit there. They have to be careful not to lose too much HP that way. I'm kind of wondering what Mappa can see at the back there. In the meantime, Afira has a tiny split-second point advantage here. Base A is not unprotected, and without a light tank, they can't really take it unseen either. So right now they are waiting. They are waiting for people to be spotted. We have Zerd looking in the direction of Sneer. Last spotted again as a jungle. But not much is happening right now. The thing is that base A is not something that they can take. Base C is something that they need, but it's well protected. Blind shots are happening. Marcinek has been spotted. But is also in a position where he can't really get hurt. Deals is back where he was at the start. I saw a meme today, by the way, because I saw Wandering Bigfoot in the chat. That basically Bigfoot is the hide and seek winner. Nice shot by Jungle here. Getting a few well-placed shots in. And now we have Denial holding and waiting. Base A still not something they can do anything with or about. Days arriving at base C. They just need to stand there a little bit. They need to take the advantage of the points. They don't need to take the base. He's wiggling his tank to try and take that advantage. Like, again, they don't need to take it. They just need to get the advantage. Last losing more HP. This is all that they had to do. Some hits happening. They are getting... Oof. Last losing more HP. Not looking too healthy. The Hills is hightailing it out of there. The heavies... Ooh, Days gets tracked. A now being taken. And now we're nearing the 800 point border. They need Last to die, which is Zerd's job now. Last goes down. 860 points for Aqua. Pomeranza goes down. The Nile is arriving at the back. Oh, they're trying to focus on Malpa. Days goes down. Marcinek goes down. Malpa is the preferred target here. He goes down as well. 985. Base C is being stolen at the same time. Snee is almost gone. Goes down, and that gets the counter to 1k. And Aqua wins. The thing is that like chat was talking about moderation and not monetization is what the word I was looking for. The thing is that if Wargaming had kept it as is, like you get the camo, not in the auction, mind you, but you get the camo and you get the equipment, or you get a cheaper tank, that would have been very different. It's the way that it is right now, that's the problem. Also, like with the tanks being chosen, I just never question it, because all these guys are much better players than I am. And they can do things, they just can pull magic out of the rest somehow and do things in these tanks that are just utterly amazing. So it is very fun to watch in that regard. I still hate wargaming for balancing tanks through super consumables though. That should have never happened in my opinion. But yeah, all that being said though, we are getting ready for the second game of Fort Despair, the second game of this best of 5. I would have liked, basically... I'm guessing the Bigfoot comment happened just now. Like there's a 3-minute delay, so sometimes it's difficult. Yeah, overall, like maybe in a way the tank game would be more boring, but I would prefer it like they did with the Type 71, where you just got different equipments and you tweak your tank like that. You don't get super consumables. But yeah, Afira is ready with 3 AMX-54s, 2 215Bs, and 2 F3s versus 2 AMX-54s, 3 F3s, a 215B, and a Hori. Oh, I never questioned camping tanks in tours either. Like, it makes sense for them, because they will have trained with this, they will have done this with reason. In this case, it didn't really work out, though. Oh, I love this camo so much. Anyhow, we have Aqua and Afira both focusing mainly on the seaside again, with, again, now we have the Hori in the corner. And we have Last in the spawn. And Zerd has to be a little bit careful. Those are some very forward tanks there. And they are not getting the hits in that they were hoping to. Zerd pushing forward. Has to be careful not to overextend though. Marcinek is there. Ooh, exactly the same damage done to each other. Unk losing a lot of... I'm not even going to pronounce the rest of it. Or try to. Zerd is taking some damage there. But that was a lot of damage done to Afira that they probably didn't expect to. So it is losing a bit more, but it is cost him dearly. So he just keeps trying, and I can't blame him. Oof. That was a big hit into Zerd. Ah, that was all. In the meantime, we have happenings in the corner, where the F is now in trouble, which means that Aqua needs to push here. The Nile cheekily moving around. Last losing HP. Zerd not bothering with the base. They have to be careful here, though, because they can get farmed so bad. The F goes down. Jungle is moving. And they can't really do much of anything right now. They're a bit stuck. Both teams have lost a gun. Now they are moving in. This is always like, you almost see the call. Okay, go now. That was not the kill, but they's got him in the end. Ghosty is still alive, if barely. Is holding back to survive a little bit longer. Does get a nice shot in. Now Daze has reloaded his whole gun. And that's the end of Sneer. Unk pulling back. Ghost is still alive. Denial getting shot from the middle there. Who then gets hit by the heels in the Hori. The Hori is kind of like the little sneaky guy here. Now taking out Ciceron. Last is currently being ignored by the people here who are just murdering Zal. There he goes. Zal goes down. Unk gets another shot in. Then goes down, and now it's just Last is AFK. Is the last one left. The Hori is arriving. And he takes the kill. And ends the game. Yeah, Murtken, there is no reward for watching. However, there is a contest going on. You have to guess the damage that the team on the left, which is in the grand finals, so we don't know yet who that will be, does in the grand finals. In the second game, you have to post your in-game name, your server, and your exact damage guess for the team. So like you see the 12,217 and the 18,669, that would be kind of like the scores that you guess. So we are moving on. We're going to go to a different map. We're going to go to Camstilla. Camstilla looks like this. It says Castilla, but it's honestly, it should be Camstilla. There's a lot of camping going on always, especially in tours. And in tours, I understand it. In random games, I hate it. But overall, the games that we usually see here in tours can be very, very slow and patient. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, it can make for a bit of difficult when it comes to commentating, because basically you just have nothing to talk about. So I usually just fly around then and talk about positions, because the thing is that there will be a lot happening, only there's no action involved. So for the general viewer, it looks like nothing is happening. So let's see. I like how Eric and Agassi just pretty much said the almost exact same thing there. 23 seconds left to go. I think my music died, which is not always a bad thing. Here we go. Oh, a VZ for Zerd. And a Super Conqueror, a 215B, an AMX 54, an LT Uhor, and another LT for Aqua. Versus a Batchat for Sneer. And here we go. 2 AMX 54s, a Batchat, 2 E50Ms, an LT, and an E6. I'm always happy to see an E6. I'm not always sure it works more into us, but I'm always happy to see an E6. Also, if the rest of the sound stuff is still working well, that's all I care about. After this matchup is over, I will have a quick look. All the beep beep zoof zoof tanks are heading towards the citadel. Except on the other side. Where are the hills? Going to the hills. Ooh, Eerie got spotted. Last going into the water. That's not always... we've seen teams do that, but that doesn't always work well. Eerie is just deciding that he doesn't really want to be there anymore, and I can't really blame him. Ghosty gets hit. We have people in the water. Oh, that is an interesting move. Zerd getting shot through the little... That's not what I meant to do. I wanted to show you the shots happening through there. Because Zerd is basically a sitting duck right now. He can't really do much of anything. Lars is now getting pushed on by the Nile as well. Malpa lost a lot of HP. Last's AFK is really trying to survive here. Ooh, there goes Zerd. And there goes Last. The Nile takes a hit as he gets out of there. We have Eerie in danger. Not looking too healthy. Has to try and survive, but can't really do much of anything. They are giving him the evil eye. B now getting capped. Both teams lost a tank. HP is pretty much similar. The heals still on top of the hill. Let's see. Jungle moving around. Eerie gets spotted again. Has to be so careful. It's only a little light tank and it's actually Sneer from base C that got him. And that gives Afira a gun advantage. They have a base advantage and a growing point advantage. Marcinek deciding he does not want to be there anymore. Zal stuck between the buildings. E6 on the hill. I always love holding this position, really. Just to see if anyone is there. Decapping base A and everything. It's a lot more dangerous to do in tours, though. Malpa's also in a very good position there. Tricky position, but a very good one. Ghosty's not looking too healthy either. But mostly they need a base. DF is moving in. Not going for the base though. He is eating a shot. C is now also being taken. They're going after Unk. Unk pushes down. Malpa survives by the skin of his teeth. And they really need to get this kill. Denial drops down. He goes. Oof, that was dead. Steer is getting shots in. Jungle is being careful. Is getting shot at. But they mainly just need Malpa to go down. He does go down to EF. Zal goes down and all of a sudden things are turning around. Marcinek. Sneer. The heals has now been spotted by Sneer. Denial's not looking too healthy. They kind of need those bases though. But they have to be very careful in taking them. Let's see. Denial is getting shot at. Repeatedly. Takes a little shot back. Ooh. Ciceron does go down there. And they now have 2 guns versus 5. The heals is not looking too healthy, but now they know where both of them are. And even with the little HP that they have, we have Ghosty now arriving. And they are just trying to survive, because technically speaking, that is all they need to do. Base C is being taken. They need to take base B as well. They need to take base B as well. Marcinek losing more HP. Sneer has been spotted. Nice shot there. But there goes Denial. Martinek having a grand total of 28 HP. But there's so many low HP tanks, and it's actually the F that saves the day here. And wins the game for Aqua by the skin of their teeth. I would just enter your guess now, Maurice. Because you don't know which team it will be until I enter the room. Very well played by Aqua here. And immediately we go through to the next game, but very well played by Aqua here. Afira going through to the lower bracket, which means that Aqua is in the grand finals. But matches like these is honestly why I did. See, Campstella can be annoying SF, but it can also have matches like this where just so much is happening and little mistakes and basically big punishment for those little mistakes. It's amazing. To be fair, the position that Lars was in does work out sometimes. And when it works out so beautifully. It's because the thing that has to happen is that in order to take out the little light that is in there, they have to be very forward with tanks. So if they have good support fire behind the little light, that means that they basically just lose a lot of HP and a lot of tanks basically just for having that, for trying to take out the light from that position. In this case though, I do feel that Afira's support fire was not quite there. So even though Aqua did lose HP, they didn't lose tanks trying to get lost out. So yeah, now we're just waiting. I'm also going to have a quick look. I think I know why it didn't work. There we go. Now we're going to go for this one. There we go. We have our music back. I always like having a little bit of a beat in the background. Three minutes left before we go into the next matchup, which is the lower bracket finals. Not yet the grand finals. And here we go. Time has dropped below 3 minutes. I always just wait a little bit extra just to be safe. And then we will go into the room. Afira already completely there and readied up. Osley also back at it again. Let's see, we are moving on to Black Goldfield, which looks something like this. This is, I have to say, one of my more favorite maps, not so much in tours, but definitely to play on. Like, if you have a little bit of a good team, I know that that's a stretch and something that you generally don't get, but with a little bit of a team behind you, you can do wonderful things on this map. So I do quite like it, and I like being a front line without being primary target, if that makes sense. Yeah. When it comes to tools though, it's an interesting map. We have a lot of, again, open fire lines. So a lot of not so much camping positions, but more like holding positions. Basically, you want to avoid anyone getting any base anywhere. I would kind of, yeah, it also depends on how many games there are. Like, it is the best of 5, and so far we have 2 3-0s. But it could also go to all 5 games. Let's see. Like, also, just to remind everyone, there is a giveaway on this stream. You have to guess the damage that the team on the left, which is not Osley because we don't know yet who's in the grand finals and on which side of the room they will be at. Thus, in the second game of the Grand Finals, and you have to post your in-game name, your server, and your exact damage guess. "33 seconds left to go before we go into the first game. We have Osley ready with 4 AMX 54s, 2 E50Ms, and 1 215B. Versus Avira in a VK72, 2 Super Conquerors, an LT, a 215B, and 2 AMX 54s. Basically, the meta from this season, aside from the F3s that are just like in there now, seems to be very, very similar to last season. The F3 is mainly the new one in. That is a very proper guess. Like, even your ID, I appreciate that. Like, sometimes YouTube can be very difficult when it comes to IDs, which is why I always say like in-game name and server. But if you do put your your ID in there and it works, it is very comfortable for me. Blind shots happening. Bano and Bombaranza both being hit by them. That's something I dislike about the being loaded all the way from the beginning. We see so many blind shots. Marcinek and Zal being very, very forwards here. Ooh, that did not pen though. They are holding. Big hit into Philharmonia. Base B has been taken. Marcinek does take a hit for that. Shoots completely over everyone. Zal pulling back. Rambo is there as well. B and C are both taken. Bablo is not looking too healthy. But HP is being bled everywhere pretty much. Lost, running around the back. Now running off to the other side. Base B is being stolen. I think they're hoping to catch people unawares, but right now they're just bleeding. Zal not getting the hit in. Malpa moving in. Now we have Pomeranza taking out just player. Detectube again, Osley with the hyper aggressive move forwards though. And this time it was just player and Detectube, but every time they do this, it's costing them 2 tanks. And yes, Rambo is being taken out on the other side, but HP wise, there's like a 3k difference between them. Marcinek taking a little bit of a hit there. Last being cheeky and shooting Bablo. Marcinek has to be careful. He is being farmed from every. He's just going down. That fire certainly didn't help either. Zal is being hit. Guns-wise, it is even. There's about a 1 point something K difference between them. Malpa has to be careful. A now being capped. The VK72 all the way over there. Metapio now moving into the base. Last shot's not penning. Totak losing a lot of HP for it though. Oh, that was not really what they meant for it to happen. Last not looking too healthy, but women losing a lot of the points there. Bablo losing more HP. There goes Totak. Last is still alive, being a cheeky little bugger. Philharmonia goes down. Women moment. Ooh. Matapio goes down. Last actually gets taken out there. And now we just have Bablo left. One of the first ones to take damage, the last one left alive. And there he goes. And the game is for Afera. You have to post your name. Oh, yeah, that's never mind. That was a correct. YouTube was being slow. But yeah, the F3 was buffed, and now it has an auto reloader gun, which I think made a big difference as well. So the F3 does perform well here. I'm just not a fan of paid tanks being meta. Again, not blaming any team for using them, because that makes total sense. It's there. If it's meta, then of course you use it. But I wish they did that more with tech trees. 1 minute and 9 seconds left before we go into the second game on Black Goldville. And let's see. We now see Osli taking a 215B, a Chieftain MK6, 3 AMX54s, a Kranwagen and an LT. Versus Afira in 2 E6s, an LT, a 215B, 2 AMX54s and another LT. The thing is that with the F3, the thing that does mean is the lack of gun depression. I do understand why it can work on some maps really, really well. But when I'm just generally playing and basically all the maps are on shuffle, I'm not enjoying it much. Yes, your answer is absolutely fine. Hey, Echo. To be fair, I'm not playing these games. I'm not this good. As much as I would love to be at this level, I know that I can never be. I don't have the concentration for it. These guys train generally a lot. They know all the tanks, the ins and outs, like both to play them but also to play against them and everything. They know how to use HE very effectively. They know how to use their HP very effectively as well, to be honest. And that's just something, as much as I know that I'm a good player, I'm not anywhere near this level of epic. So let's see, where did my beautiful camo go? He's all the way on the other side. Aw. Blind shots happening. This time, not actually finding a target. It is a ridiculous thing, though, with the whole basically starting off all loaded. In the meantime, we have a light versus light happening in the base A. And Last deciding he does not really want to be there anymore. He does take a hit for that. He's also deciding that he's not going to risk it. They do get the point advantage by capping base C earlier than base A is being capped by Osley. Zal and women are shooting at each other. And now I have lost. Malba. Ooh, Malba getting spotted early on. But Tapio losing a little bit of HP. We have C being well held. And right now, pretty much, Afira doesn't have to do anything. It will be up to Osley to make a move. Basically, ooh, Last losing a lot of HP there. Basically, as long as you are polite, you can talk whatever language you want in the chat. The polite thing is important, though. I don't want people to be rude or insult others. Let's see, not much is happening right now. We don't, well, not full-on action, but they are relocating. They are trying to find where everyone is. Totak has lost the most HP together with Lost. But again, Afira has the point advantage here. Even if it's slight, it will be very difficult for Osley to drive all the way over here just to stand in their base a little bit and get the advantage back. So they're probably not going to do that, which means that right now, it's just a matter of farming a little bit. And now we have Lost basically spotting him for Melpa. And then Melpa taking the shots, while Lost stays hidden. Philomania moving in. Also want to point out that this is I think the first game that we've seen where Osley is not being hyper aggressive with 2 people down the middle of the map. I like how this is just like so unrendered. Everyone is holding right now. And again, it will be up to Osley to make a move. They have to go somewhere. They have to get the advantage somehow. Which means that they either need to take a kill, they need to get base B, or they need to stand in base C. That's pretty much their only options. Women getting shot at a little bit from the corner. Pomeranza going unspotted again. They are slowly but surely farming. It seems that Osley is actually going towards base C right now, but he seems to be going all on his own. Pomeranza not looking too healthy. He has to be very careful right now. But they know that the E6s are there as well, so they have to... They can't just push in there. The deck tube. Ooh, that shot missed. We are at 825 points. They are trying to take base B. They kind of have to avoid that happening. Marcinek making sure that they don't just get the base in the middle there. But he is going to lose a bit of HP. Trying to... Oh no, he's actually giving up on capping it. With Zol moving in. 890 points. Women is almost gone. And Zawa has plenty of HP, but he doesn't... Ooh, Sneer goes down. But there goes Women. There goes Just Player. 970 points. They need to take the kills, and they need to take them quickly. There goes Rambo. A and B are both being taken. Marcinek is not looking too healthy. He's going to go down as well. And he does. 970 points now for Osley. 970 points for Afira. It goes every which way. But with 1k points here happening, Afira has the game eventually. But it was a very, very close call here. Well played. This was so close though. Like when it all comes down to the kills and everything, it makes for very interesting games. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go to Rockfield. Let me go. We have a map trailer with that as well. No, thank you, Maurice. That means a lot. Auf Wiedersehen to you too. Basically, Rockfield is one of those maps that I like the old version better. To be fair, for heighties, this one is way better than the old one. But the old one was cheeky and funner. 43 seconds left to go. Afira now ready with a 215B, an E50M, a Chieftain MK6, and 4 AMX 54s. No light tank though. And we see Osley with 4 AMX 54s, a Chieftain, a Super Conqueror, and an LT. The thing is that all like the early information and everything can make all the differences in maps like this. Twelve seconds left. If Afira wins the next game, then Afira will meet Aqua in the grand finals today. And here we go. Let's see. Can Osley take this back? Because there have been some very close games now. We have Totak. We're going to follow Totak a little bit. And he's going to go spot people in the middle. Rambo going straight for the seeker. This is something I really love doing in randoms. It's a very cheeky move though. 4-2-02. Does reset him, but does take a lot of damage for it. Rambo has to be careful because he's at a point where he can get farmed. He's got support though. And it's basically forcing them all back. They do really want him. Rambo now in danger. Can't really move anywhere. But so are the three, and they're up against many more guns. The Tapio is not looking too healthy. He goes down. And basically, Rambo does go down. He did the full Rambo experience. Phil Romania is not looking too healthy. He's very low on HP. Does get another shot in before he goes down. Down we have just player. They are trying to make his movements as difficult as possible. And just play is not looking too healthy. He does go down as well. Zal gets taken out too. They want Totak more. But they have to settle for women. That sounds so wrong on so many levels. The duck tube moving back. Babylon moving in. But there's too many guns. It is 5 versus 3. They're trying to keep Lost alive, which is working. Totak goes down. So it's just these two. They do take out Lost. Now Malpa already looking the other way. And there they go. And the game and the matchup are for Afira. Very aggressive game. In this case, Rambo's basically YOLO action won them the game in the end because Osley was pushing against that. And basically he was making himself the perfect bait here. Very well played overall. Well reacted by Afira. And then it was just basically clean up in aisle 7. So that doesn't mean that Osley is out now for this qualifier, that is. They still get cups and everything, so it doesn't mean that they're out at all. Just for this specific qualifier. And we will have a grand finals between Afira and Aqua. So once the first matchup is over from that, well, the first game, I will basically stop the guessing in the chat. And then hopefully, before the matchup is over, we will know the winners. And then I need to walk the doggo. I'm not saying his name, because then he knows I'm talking about him. Because it's so warm, my mom's actually been amazing. And basically, like, usually I stream upstairs, just to avoid ambient noises and whatever. But in this case, it's just been so warm, I can't stream upstairs. Because my room is just unlivable. At least for long periods of time, unless you're going to sleep, because then you have no, basically, choice. But yeah, to stream it was not an option. So she's actually gone upstairs so that I can have the downstairs. Because nothing is more awkward than sitting here and knowing that someone is in the room with you, listening to everything that you say. So yeah, last matchup almost beginning. And there we go, we can go into the room. Aqua also now just arriving. We are heading off to Normandy. One of the bigger maps in Blitz. You have 4 bases, which always makes for, in my opinion, very interesting gameplay. This is one of the maps where I will always say that yes, you can have light tanks and medium tanks camp behind the bunkers, but only in tours. You should never do that in randoms. Because it just doesn't work that way. The thing to remember when you see how tournaments are played is that these guys make tactics together. And they basically build their positions on the positions of the rest of the team and everything. So when you are, or how do I put this right? When you're in a tour, you can make every position work depending on what your team needs you to do and where you're at. The thing is that in randoms, you do not have that level of team play. So if you go camp behind a bunker in a light tank, you are doing things wrong and you need to learn how to play, basically. So yeah, in tours, in teamwork, yes. In randoms, no. That also kind of goes for ratings, by the way. And up to a level of fun mode as well. Basically, anything not where you're a full team, you shouldn't camp like that. 1 minute 10 seconds left to go before we go into the first game of the grand finals for this evening. One side we have Aqua now getting ready with 2 AMX 54s, an F3, a Chieftain MK6, a 215B, a Hori, and an LT. And on Avera's side we see 4 Super Conquerors, a Hori, and potentially 2 LTs. And in this case, it is all about the cups that they can win, because that will determine who is through to the top 8 eventually. I'm kind of wondering if the YouTube chat is still working, because I haven't seen a new message in some time, and that concerns me. Let's see. 15 seconds left to go. There's a lot of Super Conquerors, though. And here we go. First game of the grand finals, after which I will stop. I do like this camo as well, though. It looks so nice. I wonder which camo that is. I love that kind of color. It's kind of like the sky. Eerie moving forwards quickly, probably going to go for the quick cap and get the advantage that way. Generally, when that happens, that's when you spawn that way, you also kind of have to adjust what you're going to do. Zerd in a bit of a tricky position, with Pomeranza having been spotted. Now moving forwards a little bit. He's using a Christmas sweater kind of camouflage. Zal is moving around a little bit. And Aqua has a little bit of a point advantage. Zerd getting spotted. Immediately pulls back though. And now we have Eerie in the hills, holding at the back. And Zal is holding as well, not going to go for that cap. Let's see. Pushing forwards a little bit, with the lights running around everywhere. Sneer also arriving. Qualifier seems to be gunning for Zerd. The LT's arriving. Last holding behind the bunker. Eerie deciding he doesn't really want to be there anymore. And now we have Afira pushing into base A. The Hill's actually losing HP for that. Oh, that bounced! But 3 Super Conquerors capping. Sorry, 2 Super Conquerors and LT capping is basically going to give them the base. Because there's one of them, Melpa in this case, who's just not been shot. Now he is, but they already got the base. We have the rest of Aqua semi-pushing at the back there. Eerie going to go for a cheeky B-cap. If he gets away with that, though, that would be epic. But is he going to get away with that? Sneer arriving. Eerie standing very, very still. Does get away with it. Is still unspotted as well. And Afira now has the point advantage, though. Eerie moving around. Last losing a whole chunk of HP there. Nice shot from Zerd. Marcinek losing a little bit of HP. Sneer losing a little bit of HP. Now we have Eerie running around. I'm going to meet Lost in a similar move. There's a mosquito on my laptop. That is not where we want... Well, we don't want any mosquitoes, really. Malpa losing a little bit of it. Eerie has been spotted. Waits to be unspotted, then moves back. Lost doing pretty much the same thing. But they need to see which base is available to them. And right now, none of them are. The fast tanks are changing places, trading places. And we have Rambo, Marcinek and Zal holding base D. Zerd losing a little bit of HP there. Eerie running around. And they need to get that point advantage back. They kind of need to get base A somehow. Because that's probably the easiest one to get. And now we have the F moving in. We have the Hills moving in. We have Sneer moving in. Not knowing that there's going to be people there. A getting capped now by Zerd. The Hills losing a lot of HP very quickly. They're going after Melpa. They need Melpa to die. That's the preferred target here. And they need the base. They did get the base. They now have 3 bases. Now they just need to keep their guns alive. Sneer and... Oof, there's pretty much HP being lost everywhere. Melpa moving away. Denial going after him. But Sneer goes down first. And basically Sneer dying. And then Melpa dying. And then Zerd dying. But we're already at 1k points. And the match is for Aqua. So that is the first game up and over from the Grand Final, which means that I'm now going to say stop guessing now. And it actually works. Beautiful game here. Very patiently, almost like Campstella kind of. But that was a very cheeky game. I like when a game is played more like Supremacy. You see all the different positions and people changing positions. And as soon as something happens on one side, something has to happen on the other side because the other team has to respond. And I'm not meaning like versus, but I mean like if team 1 pushes A, then you see generally a reaction on the other side near base. And in this case, that was also Aqua. Very cheeky game, very well played. I say that a lot, honestly, but just appreciative of what I'm seeing. 49 seconds left to go. We see Aqua now ready with 2 AMX 54s, 2 Super Conquerors, a 215B, a Hori, and an LT. And we have Afira ready with 4 Super Conquerors, a Hori, and 2 LTs. So let's see what's going to happen now. Let's just going to quickly unpin the guess the things. Because right now the thing is that it doesn't give any spoilers. That's why I'm always happy when I do things this way. Ten seconds left. And here we go. See. Come on, load me in, thank you. Oh, I can't wait until it's proper autumn. Temperatures being nice and comfy again. And not basically fever height, which is ugh. Eerie. Moving towards the middle. Might be pronouncing some names horribly wrong, to be honest, but eh. Now we have basically similar things happening on the other side. Eerie moving in though. Ooh, managing to not get hit for that somehow. Has to be very careful. He does get murdered by the Hori. And now they also know where the Hori is, which is also information. B being taken. Can he get shot though? They need. I was just gonna say they need to decap him. Zerd moving in. F has also been spotted now, so both Horis are seen. And now we have Rambo moving around. Changing positions. Zerd being quite forwards again. Basically making sure that in this case 8 can't just be capped. Has to be careful though. Eerie holding at the back there. Melpa holding base C. Thing is that Eerie can now give early information on anyone trying to cap base B. Zerd moving back up. Melpa has been spotted. They probably know he's in the bush somewhere. Lars also trying to get early information. Look at this angle though. That's extreme angling right there. I wonder who he can see. Can he see anyone? Lars being a cheeky fella, being very careful not to knock down the tree because that would instantly tell anyone where he's at. Lars now getting spotted. Denial. Moving now. And everyone is still holding. Again, there's a point advantage for Afira here. So it will be up to Aqua to make a move. And Zerd dropped down to the beach, which will take him a bit to get back up from. He knows that there's a light tank there now though, probably. Especially now that he actually got shot by them. And all of that is information. All of that tells them where people are and what it can mean. In the meantime, we're almost at halfway through the battle. And not much has been happening. Which is one of the things that I like about this kind of gameplay. Because they are being very, very patient. They are really trying to find each other. Not sure where that shot went. They are trying to find out where the other one is. They are trying to... Oh, that's... okay. He's shooting that bush over there. Even though I think that that one was... Oof, denial taking a hit there. Let's see. Someone is smoking outside and can smell all the cigarettes. It's just... Ugh. Sneer losing HP there. They are slowly but surely just whittling away each other's HP just a little bit. But other than that, again, Afira has the point advantage. So it will be up to Aqua to make the move. Eerie gets spotted there. Marcinek moving forwards a little bit. Ooh, got a full one into Ghosty, takes a little one back. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Point advantage is only slight. Technically speaking, they only need to stand in the base for a little bit in order to grab it back, but they are running out of time, quite literally. Eerie moving more forwards. Being very, very careful. Or as careful as he can be. Almost at the 1.5 minute mark. This might be a game with very, very little damage. Let's see. 1 minute, 15 seconds left. They either need to take a base or they need to stand in base D. And Aqua seems content to not do much. Most of the forces are over there, but they're not pushing. Now they're starting to move. Melpa's no longer there though. 42 seconds. Ghosty is on his own. 35 seconds. Base A is being kept. I think they waited too long. They're not going to decap the base. The game is for Afira. Even if they take... Well, no, they might... 14 seconds left. If they manage to get a kill, it's still possible. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and 888. Afira takes the game. So the team on the left, which is Aqua, did 5,690 points, basically damage. So that's the score. 5,690. What a game. And in this case, Aqua just left it too late. They were waiting too long. I'm going to quickly close the screen because I don't want any more mosquitoes in the house. So we are moving on to Desert Sands for the third game. Desert Sands looks something like this. Also has a crashed plane. This case in the desert. 3 bases instead of 4. Very different areas for the map though. And it is, in my opinion at least, it's quite a fun map. We see quite some fun tour games here as well, with camping and focus fire and everything. And there we go. So we now have Aqua ready with a Super Conqueror 4 E50Ms, a 215B and an AMX 54 versus a T22 medium, a 215B and 5 E50Ms. I think it is safe to say we're going to see a desert brawl. This is the most ridiculous demonstration game ever, so it's basically the lowest score that will win, I think. No one quite expected that, I'm sure. Let's see. And here we go. 4 E50Ms versus 5 E50Ms. Plus a T22 medium. First one has been spotted. Shots are happening. The Nile and F are moving into the middle. Oof. That did not quite go as expected. The Nile losing a lot of HP very, very quickly here. Now they have to be careful. The F. Can he shoot him there? No, he can't. The Nile's lost a lot of HP there, though. And they need to shoot last, but they're not. The F is being shot at. Let's see. That did not go in either. A little bit of bleeding happening. A now being capped. The thing is that as soon as anyone from Akka were to cap either C or B, I'm quite sure that Afira would respond by rushing, because they know that they would have a gun advantage somewhere. Right now, they still don't know where some people are. Last is being shot at a lot, but is not getting penned. A has been capped, and that puts on the pressure. Zerd taking a little bit of damage and a little bit more. Let's see. Zerd pulling back. Shots being fired. Last finally getting a hit into him. But so far everyone is content to hold. Ooh, nice blind shot there. He did not expect that. I wonder if they saw whether that hit. And the F is keeping them quite nicely spotted there. Melpa supporting last, which means that Aqua can't really push there. The Nile is now running around. Maybe going for the base, because they are losing points at a rapid rate now. So they do kind of need that cap. No response from Afira. I think they only need to worry if base B is also being taken. There we go. This. Never mind with my no response. They were trying to push. And now they're going to find the hills. The hills is pulling back. But he's in danger. He's not alone, but he is in danger. Big hit into Rambo. Rambo is the preferred target. Immediately the other two move in. The Hills is not looking too healthy either. He's probably going to go down first, and there's nothing he can do about it. Rambo pulls back. Zerd being pushed by Marcinek now. Rambo goes down. We have Jugal moving in. Marcinek rammed to death. Zerd goes down, Pomeranza goes down. Aqua actually has the upper hand here. Ramming speed? No. Jugal takes the hit, making it 5v3. Denial still alive. Lost as well. Now it's just Last and Sneer versus 4. With almost everyone over here. Nice shot there. And there goes Last as well. Denial holding like a trooper there. He did have help from the F. I think it was the F. This was also something funny though, because I did say that capping a base would be the catalyst, and it was just not as Afira expected, because they were pushing and then they halted. And I think that that is what allowed Aqua to just be ready for them. Now it was actually the F holding and Denial arriving there, but Denial was one of the ones that lost the most HP early on. So now the score is 2-1, which means that if Aqua wins the next game, then they win the matchup. And for the second game on Desert Sands, we see an E6, a 215B, and 5 U50Ms. And on Afira's side, we see an E6, yay! Oh god, 4 E6s, 2 E50Ms, and 215B. This is kind of like my kind of team. I love the E6. But yeah, we'll have to see how it holds, because the tank can be utterly amazing. But can it hold against all those E50Ms that are basically being played by really epic players? Blitz also exists on PC, so yes, it is also played by PC users a lot, I think. And I think there's a Steam version, a Microsoft Store version. It is all 7 versus 7 for Blitz. You also have World of Tanks PC, which is like the big game, and you have bigger teams, bigger maps, bigger everything basically. But Blitz is mainly meant to be a mobile game. So a lot of people play on touch. Let's see. Here we go. Look at that wolfpack moving. I do like watching that, not gonna lie. All the E6s now have to cross into the desert. Shots happening. All the E50Ms are taking their positions. Shooting Malpa a little bit, spotting some E6 action. Look at this though, this is such a cheeky thing. Different camos, beautiful camos, all of them to be fair. Eerie taking a little bit of damage. Now we have Sneer moving in. The E6s are arriving. Melpa losing more HP. Immediately, as soon as Pomeranza moved up there, he got focused. They have to be big gap. We're just entering an all-out brawl stage here. We have the hills hiding behind Ghosty. Pomeranza goes down first, then the hills, then Zol. The Nile's not looking too healthy, goes down as well. Both teams lost 2 guns. Lost is the primary target. And Ghosty is the primary target. There's a lot of HP to be lost here. Lost surviving with a grand total of 13 HP. Which means that Ghosty goes down first. There goes Rambo. Melpa goes down. 4v3, but Lost only has 13 HP. And goes down. 4v2. I think it is safe to say that this game will be poor Aqua. And they take home the matchup. And to be fair, it wasn't all that far off. Just the tanks died faster in the end. And Sneer takes his head off and salutes Zerd there with a little bit of a hug. And the game is for Aqua, as is the matchup. Beautiful game. Beautiful games all around, to be fair. It's been very fun watching this. Even if it was super, super brawly in the end. So yeah, that's it for me tonight. Basically, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I apologize for any brain nerves that I might have. I'm really not at my best right now. In the meantime, the winners of the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass winner is A Professor A. Then we have the fan containers going to Arthur2000, Rage7764, Demera_light_105, and Red Estra7. So I'm not sure when the prizes will come, so it will either depend on like when all the qualifiers have been had, or if they will be handed out in the meantime. But at least the Battle Pass will follow in September. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Osli and Afira, and of course Aqua, for the beautiful games that we've seen today. Let's have a quick look, by the way, at the chart. Whether or not stuff is over. No, that is still going. BPS versus Raid. Let's see. It would help if it loaded. That was a 3-0 for BPS. Love versus Lost Samurai is still going. Hulk versus Esville is also still going. That was our group. Demon versus Prada was a 3-0. And Beloved versus Ren is also still going. Oh, there's actually more there. There's a lot of groups here. (3-0) for Squad 1. And Group 9 is the last one. PC Cat versus S-Wall, and they won 3-0 as well. But yeah, that is it for me tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you especially Eric and Agassi for watching the chat for me, and also for running the giveaway stuff. Sorry, running the giveaway stuff for me. That's it for me today. I will be back on the 3rd day of the second qualifier to stream that, and that will be Sunday if I remember correctly. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Bye bye.